Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. What question determines whether your business supersizes or even survives for that matter? Well, I learned about this probably 20 years ago, but I didn't recognize it. I didn't acknowledge it. I didn't understand it. And I certainly didn't put it to work in my life or my businesses. And this is the whole topic of the primary question. All of us, every single human being on the planet, we operate off of a primary question. Now, the secret is whatever your primary question is for you personally determines the outcome not only of your life, but of your business. Well, of your business and your life, I guess, is a better way of putting it. And I didn't know this. I had learned about it, the primary question from Tony Robbins, at least 20 years ago, probably closer to 30 plus years ago. And it kind of went right over my head. I thought it was interesting at the time. I read about it. I learned about it, but I never applied it. I never thought about it really for my life. It was one of those exercises that you read about and you really don't think it applies to you, so you don't do anything about it. Well, in 2010, I had a sudden cardiac arrest, like dropped dead arrest. I was living my life in definite reaction mode and responding to whatever was going on around me, and not living my life on purpose. I had goals and objectives. I was running several companies. I was moving forward. On the outside, everything looked fantastic, although on the inside, I was an absolutely devastated mess. Not even a little bit of a mess, a total train wreck. Actually, several total train wrecks all on the inside, trying to hide it from the rest of the world. And after leaving a city council meeting one night, I actually dropped dead in one of my businesses. Now, I'm still here talking to you, so obviously it didn't stick. It wasn't my time. I like to say I wasn't done yet, and I definitely wasn't done yet. But I did. I died, and I'm just so fortunate every day to be here. And one of the things I revisited after that event, when I woke up and was frozen and had time off to do cardiac rehab and things, was I was reintroduced to this theory of the primary question. And part of why I was reintroduced to it was because when I woke up in the hospital, the first words out of my mouth were WTF. Now, if you don't know what WTF is, message me in the comments below and I'll say it. But I don't feel like saying it today. I don't need to say it every day because I don't live it anymore. But I was definitely living WTF, and that was my primary question. It was not only the first words out of my mouth, which my family was laying bets on, by the way. So even though I wasn't understanding and on a conscious level realizing that that was the question I was asking about everything in my life, everybody else around me knew that that would be my first words, which is really a cool indicator that even when we don't see what's going on inside us and around us, other people can very clearly see it. So I had to do some work. I made a decision. I made a conscious decision that, okay, WTF isn't a great way to operate my business. It certainly wasn't a great way to operate my life since it nearly ended it permanently. So I decided, and I went on a mission to say, okay, well, what do I want my primary question to be? And I discovered, guess what? We get to decide what we want our primary question to be. So I changed my primary question to, what am I creating now? And that's my primary question. I ask myself repeatedly now, consciously, what am I creating now? What am I creating now? Now, does WTF sneak into my repertoire every once in a while? Yes, it sure does. When I'm frustrated over something on the computer, when I'm frustrated with something about my business, I will notice that I automatically flip into, well, WTF, why isn't this working? WTF, why isn't this happening fast enough? WTF, why isn't this person called me back? And I immediately stop myself and say, what am I creating now? If I am feeling frustrated and thinking that question, even subconsciously in my head, it's not creating the results I want in my life or in my business. So, that was a huge lesson for me. And it only took me like 30 years to learn it. And, nearly not being here. So how can you use this to supersize and grow your business? And how do you know that this is even impacting your business? Well, I didn't know on a conscious level that it was impacting my business, my primary question, until I had the health event that made me stop in my tracks and really take a look at what was going on in my life, what was working, what wasn't, And that means really looking at the results, and the results in every area of my life, not just in my business. Because, the truth is, whatever our primary question is impacting our business, the businesses we grow, how fast they'll grow, whether they'll grow at all, whether they even survive or exist, is determined by that primary question. Now, how do you find out what your primary question is? Well, you can sit down and you can think about it. You can consciously look at your results and say, okay, what question must I be asking, or what question am I asking on a subconscious level over and over and over again that's yielding these results? And if that doesn't work, just ask people around you. Ask your customers, ask your clients, ask your coworkers, ask your significant others, your kids. Everybody in my life knew what my primary question was, except me, because I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to know, because then I had to switch from reactive mode to everything to actually creating my life, planning my life, being responsible for my life. I was always responsible for it, but I wasn't understanding that I had the personal power to change it and to create what I wanted. I didn't just have to live with what everybody else was expecting of me. So remember, you can change your primary question, but you're going to have to first be aware that you have a primary question and that it is impacting everything you think, everything you feel, and all of your actions that you'll take based on those thoughts and feelings. So if you don't know your primary question, if you want to share your primary question, if you want to have a discussion about your primary question, I would love to talk to a couple of people about this, because it's one of my favorite topics now, because it's made such a drastic difference in my life and my results and who I show up as in my life and my businesses. That's it. Do you know your primary question? What is it? Is it what you want it to be? Is it getting you the results you want? And maybe it is. Maybe your primary question is, something like, what am I creating now? Why am I so awesome? How come everything always works out perfectly for me? If it's something like that and you're getting the results you want, then that's exactly how you want to live your life and create the businesses that you want to create, or the business and the supersized business that you want to create. But if it's not, you're not getting the results you want, check in with your primary question and see if that might not be having an effect on it. That's it. Go out and make it an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.